10 interesting facts about junk food. Junk is undeniably one of the most enjoyed guilty pleasures throughout the world. Although they are tasty, they might not be as healthy for our body. All of them have different origins, tastes, and facts, which are pretty interesting. We have around 10 amazing junk food facts or JFF about them, which you might have not known earlier. JFF number 1. Cotton candy machine was co-invented by a dentist. Surprised? Well, yes. In 1897, dentist William Morrison along with John Wharton, a candy maker, invented a machine which crystallized sugar and spun the melted sugar, forcing it through small holes that made threads of cotton candy. Earlier, these threads were collected and sold in small wooden boxes. Later, another dentist, Joseph Lascaux, made a machine for cotton candy and started selling it in his office. Though he was not the first to make the machine, he has been accredited for giving it name cotton candy. Morrison and Wharton had named it Fairy Floss. JFF number 2. Why donuts have holes? The tale goes that a sailor, Captain Hansen Gregory, had made the first donut with a hole. He had put his story in Washington Post on March 26, 1916, where he mentions how he was inspired to make a whole donut. He mentions how he first made a circle from the dough, and using the cover of a pepper box from the ship, he cut a hole in the donut. He also mentioned that he taught this way of making donuts to many fellow sailors. There also exists a tablet near Clam Cove Rockport, which has been made by his friends on November 2, 1947, to commemorate him, which reads as the birthplace of Captain Hansen Gregory, who first invented the whole donut in 1847. JFF 3. Inventor of Pez was also world's first ready-made cake mix inventor. Edward Hass III used to promote his grandfather's light baking powder, which was thought to be easier on the stomach in comparison to yeast. This packet of baking powder consisted of a recipe book too, which mentioned the amount required to substitute yeast. Hass III got the idea to combine the ingredients of cakes so that people could save their time. In 1914, he started his business and sold combined ingredients for Google Hot Cake Mix under the name of Hassin the Ready-Made Health Sponge Cake. After adding much to his baking line, he finally started cold pressing peppermint to make what we commonly call Pez. JFF 4. Tang was invented for space program. Tang was made by William A. Mitchell in 1957 and introduced in the market through General Foods. However, it did not get too many sales. Later in 1962 and 1965, NASA used for Glenn's Mercury flight and Gemini program respectively. This made the drink famous and also led to the delusion that the drink was made specifically for NASA programs. JFF number 5. Most soft drinks consist of small quantity of alcohol. The sugar present in the soft drinks tends to ferment in non-sterile environment, which is the cause of the quantities of alcohol found. A study conducted in 2006 confirmed the presence of alcohol in almost all the carbonated drinks. JFF number 6. Marshmallows were made from the sap of mallow plant. Early Egyptians made marshmallows from the sap of a mallow plant and mixed it with honey and nuts. It was a delicacy meant only for the royal people or the gods. Later, the French candy makers combined and whipped this mallow extract with eggs and sugar and made what we now famously know as marshmallow. Nowadays, the sap has been replaced by gelatin, which help in preserving the marshmallow for a longer time, and combined it with sugar, starch, corn syrup, and water. They removed egg whites from the list of ingredients, and gelatin helps to keep the elasticity of the mallows. JFF number 7. How did M&M get its name? Forrest Mars, the son of founder of Mars Incorporated, and Bruce Murray, son of president of Hershey's, were the founders of M&M's. The name was decided as both their last names were M. They started their production in 1941, and in 1950 they gave a trademark of Black M on every candy that was produced. And in 1960, the color of the M was changed to white. JFF number 8. Wondering why do Coke and Mentos react? Well, technically speaking, all carbonated-based beverages will react to Mentos. The constituents of Coke and Mentos, mainly Mentos, which produce a reaction when combined together. The structure of Mentos is such that it forms carbon dioxide quickly, and when this happens very fast, Diet Coke fountain is formed. Mentos has many pores on its surface, which upsets the polar attractions amid water molecules that creates thousands of idyllic nucleation sites for gas molecules to collect. It is mainly the surface with pores which causes this, and if you take a plain surface Mentos, the reaction will not be the same. Also, the faster the Mentos sinks, the more reaction will happen, so if you crush the Mentos and put it, the reaction will not be the same. JFF number 9. Halloween is the fattest holiday. Trick or treat. We all love Halloween, don't we? Originated from an old Celtic tradition, the festival is celebrated by kids, young and old. Candies sold during this time of the year count to over $2 billion sales, which is the most compared to sales in any other American festival. This makes Halloween the fattest holiday of the year. JFF number 10. Origin of Coca-Cola. A Confederate soldier earlier and then a pharmacist, Dr. John Pemberton, first mixed a batch of the famous drink Coca-Cola on March 29, 1886. He actually wanted a cure for his addiction to morphine and started experimenting with coca wines and coca and made a drink called Pemberton's French wine. This also included alcohol, which was unfortunately banned in 1886 in Atlanta. He then made a new mixture with the help of Frank Mason Robinson and Willis Venable by adding carbonated water, sugar, citric acid, and other ingredients. The new drink first sold on May 8, 1886 at Jacob's Pharmacy in Atlanta and claimed to cure dyspepsia, nausea, headaches, impotence, morphine addiction, and neurasthenia.